Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I have identified 3 catalysts that will skyrocket the stock price of SoFi in the next year and a half. And I believe these 3 catalysts are really going to drive the price to double the current value. Currently, SoFi is traded between $24 to $25. I believe it can be even reaching 45 or even 50, maybe by the end of next year. But before I go into the details and reveal these 3 catalysts, I'm going to tell you a bit more about what is SoFi.
I was having relationship issues with my old bank. Next to no interest, the fees, it was just take. So I broke up with bad banking and moved to SoFi Checking and Savings. Now I get 1.25% interest, pay no account fees, and get my paycheck 2 days early.
Break up with bad banking. Get 1.25% interest, pay no account fees, and get your paycheck up to 2 days early. Download the SoFi app and earn up to $300 when you set up direct deposit. SoFi, get your money right.
So SoFi Technologies is a digital-first bank and a personal finance platform, and based in the US, focused on making borrowing, saving, investing and spending seamless in one ecosystem. Unlike traditional banks, SoFi operates entirely online and integrates services like student loan refinancing, personal loans, investing, crypto trading and high-yield savings under a single app. Through its Galileo platform, SoFi also powers other fintech, making it both a consumer bank and a fintech infrastructure provider. A hybrid model that differentiates it from legacy banks. Whereas legacy banks are staying in their old way of working, SoFi offers the new generations a complete new platform online, and it's gaining momentum. The first argument I'm going to give you is their growth. Their growth is continuing to grow. If we look at their latest Q2 2025 report, which was issued in July, I would like to show you a number of graphs. Let me go to the number of members. If you see the number of members, the number of clients that they have in their banking system has been growing astronomically. If you look at 2022-21, they had 3,500 or 3.5 million clients. And if we look at 22, 5.2. Then the following year, 7.5. 24, they had 10 million. They're expected to have in 2025 between 12 and 13 million clients. So if you see that growth year on year, 51%, 44%, 34%, and they believe for 2025 they will reach again 30 to 40%. So their members is growing tremendously. That means that more and more people are being hooked into their system for using different products. That's exactly what you can see in the following graph as well. The following graph is basically the products that the people are using within their ecosystem of offerings, all on a mobile app. And this is something quite astronomical as well if you look at the numbers in growth, whereby you can see growth of 53%, 40%, 30%, and again 34%. So this is growth that you see on a yearly basis. So you can see from 5 million to 7.8 million to 11 million to 14 million and then to 70 million. So that means that more and more people are using more and more of their tools and their products of what SoFi is offering. If we look at their earnings per share, you can see that from being making a loss on a yearly basis in 21 and 23, you can see that the turnaround happened in 24. From having a 10 cents earnings per share loss, now suddenly they made 15 cents profit. And what they expect for this year is that they will make a earnings per share between 30% or 40 cents. Knowing SoFi a bit and the recent and having followed almost the latest 6-8 quarterly earnings, I'm quite sure the earnings will be outperformed again, meaning that they will have higher than expected revenue, higher than expected members, and I believe also their EPS will also be better than what they have given as a forecast. If we look at their guidance, we can see that their adjusted net revenue, their adjusted EBITDA, their net income, their diluted EPS, we can all see that if you compare that to the 24 and the 25, there's a huge growth that they expect. They again expect a growth of 30% in the revenue, another EBITDA of close to 30%. And if we look at their guidance for what they are seeing now for the full year of 2025, this is exactly what they are on. They're on track for reaching that. And knowing Noto and his team, they will start beating these numbers again in the following quarter, the third quarter of this year. So this is the first argument. Their growth is just going through the roof. Members, accounts, the number of products that they use. And as SoFi continues to grow in their members and their products and their earnings, they are becoming more and more valuable. And when you become one of the most valuable companies in the United States, then the likelihood that your company will be included into the S&P 500 is growing the more valuable your company is. And this is exactly what is happening lately as well. There are different companies going in and out for who are in the S&P 500. And as you can see, this is an article lately done by SoFi Technologies. They were listing down those companies that are most likely to be joining the S&P 500. In the recent round, SoFi was not added into the S&P 500, but I'm pretty sure that as SoFi continues to grow, that their name will be high on the list for putting it on the S&P 500. Why is that relevant? Well, the reason is once you're in the S&P 500, all the huge companies like investment funds and pension funds that have an investment into the largest stock exchange in the world, they will have to have a position into the company of SoFi as well. So once they are in an S&P 500, more and more companies and big investing capitalistic companies will invest in the companies that are in the S&P 500. So this will again as well be a huge driver when SoFi will be added in the S&P 500. Will this happen in the next weeks or month? We do not know. But in the next round of when they make a selection, the chances are rising for SoFi to be part of the S&P 500. Additionally, I found out that SoFi is offering their members soon a seamlessly and securely way to transfer money abroad. And that's something that is going to attract a lot of people, because nowadays you quite often need to go to different platforms to offer a very competitive rate to transfer money in different currencies. And there's even a small video of that, so I quickly want to show you that. So yeah, just another reason why people are opening SoFi accounts and why SoFi is becoming so popular and in offering such a wide range of different products. The second argument why I think SoFi will go up furthermore is upcoming rate cuts. Rate cuts are being discussed more and more in the US, and the Fed chair, Mr. Powell, was boosting expectations of a rate cut in recent statements that he shared to the media. And he's basically saying that in the near term, risks to inflation are titled to the upside and risks to employment to the downside, a challenging situation. So as the job market might go slightly down, likely they will react. And what they are saying is that a rate cut is expected of at least 25 points. And basically the current rate is already at 4.5%. And they believe that the rate cut of 25 basis points or even 50 basis points are very possible to happen in the near future. What will happen next is on the 16th or on the 17th of September, there will be another meeting of the US Central Bank. And in that meeting, the media is expecting, and then basically the whole financial world is having very high expectations that a rate cut is coming. Why is a rate cut relevant for SoFi? Well, you can imagine that SoFi loans a lot of money to their clients. Personal loans, credit loans, housing loans, car loans, student loans. And imagine a lot of these people have high interest loans with other banks. And imagine you suddenly have a bank that can offer lower rates because the interests are going down for better terms. And this is where SoFi can really gain momentum and offer their current client base, but also grow their further client base by offering very sharp rates for their student loans, car loans, you name it. And this is something that is a great opportunity for SoFi to further grow their customer base. And this is what is well expected, that once that actually happens, this will bring a positive momentum towards SoFi and the number of customers that they will have. So the third reason why I believe the SoFi stock will rocket to 40 levels in the near future is cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency used to be a capability of SoFi. As you can see, this is from 2019. SoFi introduced crypto trading with SoFi Invest. However, SoFi had to abandon that at a certain moment because SoFi is a bank and all banks were not allowed to trade cryptocurrencies at a certain moment. And that made that basically a strong portfolio of being able to trade different cryptocurrencies on the SoFi Invest app suddenly had to be taken out, which was not good for the share price, was not good for the company itself, but due to regulation it had to be taken out. And now, recently, there was a new announcement made by the US administration saying that banks are allowed to offer cryptocurrencies, and that this is something that Mr. Trump basically is a big fan of cryptocurrencies, and he basically allowed in his new administration that banks can start offering cryptocurrencies. And that's exactly what you can see here now from a recent news post of 2025 of 25th of June, whereby SoFi was announcing that crypto capabilities are coming back to the SoFi Invest platform. And that's something that they will, I believe, by the end of the year still will release to the audience and their clients. And that's something that SoFi used to be very big and very good at. And the hope is, of course, that they will come back with an even better platform, which will gain more people to the SoFi offerings, and thereby cross-sell between the different products. But because once a client is in their a wheel of different offerings, it's very easy to just cross-sell to the different products that they have. So SoFi has been on a really roller coaster ride recently. In the last 24, 30, 36 months, the SoFi stock went from $6-7 to now latestly $25, $26, with recent highs of 26 plus. If we look at where it was traded 1.5 years ago, it was in the range of $7-6, and then suddenly their earnings reports were showcasing really good numbers, revenue growing, number of customers growing, and even that they started to report positive numbers in they're making profit. And from there on, you could see the stock basically going up to levels of $15-16. And then in April, unfortunately, we had the US administration starting to talk about tariffs, which was causing a lot of fear in the market, and that made the entire US stock markets and all other markets going down tremendously, including SoFi. So SoFi went back to levels of around $8-9. But from there onwards, it started to make a huge upward momentum for more than 200%, as you can see. So if we look at the share price today, so today it's trading around $24, $25. And recently they were testing the 26 levels with even closing above 26. If we zoom out and we see where was SoFi in the past, we can see that SoFi actually touched the 24 in the past. But where it's now recently been trading on levels of 25, 26, they were not there yet in the past yet. So that means that actually the ceiling is gone. People who owned SoFi and that kept it all that way to sell it at a certain moment are likely have already sold out over the last 2-3 years when SoFi was in 21 and in November 21 touching the 24. If you now look at where SoFi is and we put a bit of a easy trend line, we can see that if you touch this here, so you can see, and we put another trend line over the last tops of the recent months, we can see that it's moving in a trend line upwards. And I believe if we also open the moving averages, we can see that it's in a trend line going up. And in my opinion, with the three catalysts that are coming, one is the earnings that continue to grow, their member accounts that start to continue to grow, their products that they are able to sell and cross-sell will continue to grow as the members continue to stack up. Another thing is the rate cut. The rate cut is likely going to happen in September, and if not happen in September, it will likely happen in one of the following months. Having a rate cut is going to do a miracle for the stock price of SoFi, because they're just simply being able to offer better loans for better prices. And that means that people will want to refinance their earlier loans. And that's basically getting a loan for better and cheaper rate. So that's another catalyst there is. And then the third catalyst is that cryptocurrency is coming back towards the platform. And that means more transactions whereby they can make profit, but also people will come back to their platform because SoFi was very successful in the past. So these three reasons, plus the extra bonus one of having money transfers all around the world, are reasons for me to believe that this stock will reach levels in the range of 40 to 50 US dollars. Where do I base these numbers on? Well, basically the numbers are based on expectations of where the stock price will be, the earnings per share, and when revenue continue to grow in the same pace as they are, well, at a certain moment it's basically if you calculate it, the price of the stock will be in the range of 40 or even higher towards 50 within the next year or so, just assuming that the continued growth will happen. So these are reasons why I think the current stock, as you can see, 24, and then going to 24 to 45 will make a huge impact and will be a huge potential bonus or growth for you as an investor. So I'm quite well invested into SoFi. It's one of my biggest portfolios. For all to just be fully transparent. Obviously, you need to do your own due diligence. This is just my ideas. You need to do your own checks. You need to do your own risk management. There's also a chance that the stock will fall back. But if you, given my insights and what I'm seeing, how SoFi is performing, I believe SoFi is ready to touch soon the 30 levels. And then in the end of the year, I believe it will be in the range of 35-40. And then next year, I believe it's even possible to reach levels like $50 per share. I hope this was useful. I hope you find this interesting. If you have a different view or different idea, then please share them in the comments. I'm very interested to hear what you like. Please leave a like or subscribe. That would help the channel tremendously. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.